Where is it?
It's live.
It is live. I don't see us. Well, we can watch on Facebook.
There.
Okay. You know, we love technology. we just dive in, we just
We don't have to know
forget
how to do
the
anything.
user manuals. We don't read anything. Okay. So I'm Joy Roby, and I'm here with, of course, you all know, Adironnda, Marilyn Harper. This is the Marilyn Harper. And we are also here with the Adironnda Company team. So I'm not sure how they're appearing in your window, but if you see one little sword, that would be Jenny. Wait, that would be Jenny. And she is our online business manager extraordinaire. And if you see two swords crossed with a bunch of swirl in the background, let's see, how do I do this? That would be, this is really tricky. That would be Julie. Okay, she's waving. And then another one sword coming live from New York, is our very own Diane Lyris, and she's going to show you how to use a single sword. So we're really excited to be here today to do a little light body activation. And I'm going to jump in first and show you how I use the Selenite Swords of Light. These are the Selenite Swords of Light, if you've never seen them before. These are the only energetic tool I use. I don't even use a pendulum. I use the swords for everything that I want to do that magnifies the energy. And my teacher is this woman. She taught me these. So the beauty about the swords is that even though we do teach these, we do have a class on them, you basically just pick up the swords and the swords tell you what to do. And so I'm going to show you the way I use them, and the rest of the team is going to show you the way that they've come to use their swords their way as well. And then at the end, Marilyn will give you a demonstration. So stick with us. We're really excited to do this. We've been looking forward to it for a couple of weeks. We have no idea how it's going to turn out, but we're happy to be here. So this is how I use the swords. Now, if I have to get back far enough. Okay. Can you still see me? So the first thing I do is I ground, and I can do this with a group of people. I've done it with hundreds of people, or I could do it with a single person. And this is what I call my light body activation. Other people have different ways of activating the light body. And I do this a lot when we're at live events, like at the Cryon events or at the Adironnda events, because people often come and the energy is really, really high and they get out of their body. And so I'll just stand at the door and ground them. The swords tell me what to do. Right now, I'm doing what's called a Vesica Pisces. And if it feels too difficult, then I start moving the swords to the left or the right, either way, but I'll move the swords to the left until I find a position that's really comfortable. Okay, so now right is not comfortable at all. The other one I'll do is the infinity sign, like this.
And if you're watching this, just sit back and relax and enjoy, because we're activating you as we're doing this.
Yes, we're doing a light body activation on everybody out there. So it's really a unity consciousness that we're working on. So interestingly enough, I started out with the Vesica Pisces, and that's what's feeling best to me. How about the rest of the team? Is that feeling good to you, or did you find it
good?
Okay, all right. So, which makes sense, right? Vesica Pisces in this time, and we're grounding all of you because we know that everyone could use a little bit of grounding right now. And as soon as the swords begin to get very fluid and light, if you can see my hands, I'm barely holding on to them. As soon as they start to get really fluid like they are right now, I'll take one sword, whichever one wants to do it. It'll feel comfortable in my hand. I point it at the ground for all of you, but if I was working on an individual, it would be their feet, or if I was working on a group, it would be at the foot of the group. And then I just start doing little circles. And again, sometimes it'll go to the right, sometimes it'll go to the left. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to balance your chakras. So right now I am in the lower chakra. And as soon as it feels very fluid, which it does, I start moving into the second chakra, which is very muddy. So what's this chakra, Mara?
That is your sexual chakra, your creative chakra.
So all of you got to get out there and, move
Be
some
more
energy.
creative.
I was going to say be more sexual, but can I say that on Facebook?
You can say that on Facebook.
Oh, okay. So now I'm just moving there. Yeah, it's interesting because there's really a stuck energy on the creativity. So, if you're at home, if you're in the stay-at-home situation, this is a time to either, get creative or get sexual, one or the other. I guess this goes back to it was Cheryl, our own Cheryl, who asked the question, do we think that after the coronavirus, will there be like a whole influx of babies, right?
Right.
Okay.
9 months from now, yes.
Okay, so it's feeling fluid. See, the more I find that if I talk and just act like I'm not really doing anything, it relaxes the group in front of me and it helps them sink a little bit deeper into those chakras. And what I'm doing is I'm getting everybody's chakra to spin at a balanced spin. So now I'm moving into the third chakra, which is your solar plexus. And that's a little stuck too, which it should be because there's a lot of fear out there right now, right?
Right.
So if you're receiving this activation, just take a deep breath and sit back and allow yourself to receive this. Okay, so now that energy is moving fluidly. So I'm going to move up into the heart chakra. And that, of course, is open because you are all watching all of us and we're all just like doing this major exchange of love and open-heartedness, and you're all feeling that. That's so cool. You feel that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, now we're going to move up to the throat chakra, which is a little blocked.
Interesting. They asked me to change swords.
And see, that's what will happen. Marilyn just switched swords. When she said they asked her to change swords, she's referring to the guides that work with her when she's working with the swords. Okay, so now I'm going up into the third eye chakra, which is pretty open, into the crown chakra. And then finally, I forget what this chakra is called. Does anybody remember what this one is? It's
Soul star.
Soul star. Yeah, and Julie's going to show you a really cool thing with the soul star that I don't usually do, but she does. So now I'm in the soul star chakra, but you can't see me. Now I'm in the soul star chakra, which is actually a little muddy. Do you guys feel that?
Mm-hmm.
Little muddy. What do you think that's about? Consciousness. All right. And then I bring it all back down. I go back to grounding. And if I could see you at this point, I'm sure I would see a light body activation around you right now. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn the window over to Julie, who's going to add into this activation that I do, which makes it her very own activation.
So I, like Joy, also start with grounding, and that's kind of connecting to the Earth Star chakra, usually about 6 to 8 inches below the person's feet. That's kind of where you're pointing down with the swords. And then after I feel like the person's grounded, well, during the grounding, I should say, I'm also setting an intention to do whatever in the highest good of the person that is being worked on. So in this case, whatever is for all of your highest good, and you can set that intention with us. And that's really all it takes. The sword will really work with your soul, with your higher self, to determine what's best for your highest good. And if anything needs to be released that's not in your highest good, you can ask for that as well. They're very good at instilling things and releasing things. And then after I feel like the person is adequately grounded, I kind of take one of the swords and lift it up to the soul star chakra. and keep the other one down at the Earth Star and connect the energies together from the top and the bottom. And the soul star is typically about 6 to 8 inches above the person's head. And then once you feel like that energy is connected, then I kind of bring them down into the heart and make sure that the heart is activated before we move forward. And since Joy just did a full light body activation, we know everybody's heart chakra is wide open. So then I also kind of expand the energy and contract the energy as needed. And then depending on the person's aura and their state, kind of go around their body and kind of the outline of their body from their head down to their shoulders. Yeah, and then their arms, and then all the way down. And if you feel any type of resistance, then you know that there's an area that needs to be worked on. And that's typically how I do my activations.
Cool. So you can see that, you know, she's incorporated how she works with people and made it her own. And you'll see that each one of us do a little bit about that. So Diane, would you like to share with the Facebook group how you use a single sword?
Yes, I only have a single sword, but that's all I need. The first thing I do, because selenite is a sword of protection and activation, I first ground myself to the earth and I speak to my spirit guides. And then I start working on the soul star, and I work through all my crowns, my crown, my third eye, my throat, my heart, my solar plexus, my sacral, and my root chakra. And then I take it as though I want, it depends what I'm using it for that day. I'll take it and I'll cleanse my body with my sword to release anything that's stagnant. And then what I'll do is I love to work with my heart chakra and open it and usually send it all out to the planet. But I also use my chakra for healing. I have a boo-boo on my knee, and I'll take it and I'll work on my knee if it needs some help this day. And I'll just go around in a circle, usually to the right. Sometimes you have to go to the left. And I use it sometimes to flick things out of my aura that don't need to be there. Then I come back to center and I give thanks to my powerful tool and to my spirit guides and to Gaia. Thank you.
Thank you, Diane. And Jenny, I know Jenny doesn't want to do an activation, but can you just hold up your little sword, Jenny? You know, you have to say something to get the camera on you.
Okay, here's my little sword. I just barely got it, and I'm loving this event because I'm learning so much about how to activate it.
So as you can see, you know, Marilyn likes to say size doesn't matter. You know, she's probably got the biggest swords. I personally find that sort of a medium-sized sword is not as heavy, and it's easier for me to use. But Julie's got 2 different swords. Every single sword we use is unique. We like to say the swords pick their owners, which is really true, because once you find the sword, like you saw the excitement with Jenny as she was talking about her little sword, you become very attached to them. And you can use them for all kinds of different things. I used it in an energy healing the other day to just place it on the spot that was being healed as an energy worker worked on me. So now what I'd like to do is turn it over to Marilyn Harper, she's brought in holographic healing, which is a really amazing healing technique. And she's also our fearless leader. Size does not matter. She may be a small package, but she's like dynamite. So I'm going to turn it over to her, and who knows what she'll do.
I have no idea. But, you know, I use the swords in a completely different way. I do the light body activation a little bit differently than what Julie and Joy do and Diane does. But also keep in mind that when I started, I didn't have any guidance. I just followed the guidance of the Council of Light. And the first time I ever used the Selenite Swords of Light was on stage with when I was channeling, so I had no idea. Then after that, I realized that when I focus the energy in this capacity over someone's head, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ask that the energy of these swords go out through all of the people that are seeing them. And they're, again, size doesn't matter. I've activated 1,000 people with swords the size of Jenny's swords. So I'm just going to hold these here, and then I'm going to open the crown. So take a deep breath and outline your etheric body, which is just about an inch or two away from your physical body, to balance your energy. And I feel a little sticking right here. That was that solar plexus area. So we're going to allow that energy to go through. The other sword going down to anchor your energy at the base of your feet, about in the earth chakra, about 8 inches below your feet. Then we're going to raise that up again and continue with the outlining of your etheric body to balance your whole energy field. And right now, I know there's a lot of stress that's going around out there. So what we're going to do is I do a figure 8 motion in the earth just to anchor that energy of the 8s, to anchor the energy of balance and harmony with the earth itself, excluding any energies from anyone that is stress-filled around you. And I'm going to use that figure 8 motion and go all the way up your body. So breathe into that. Now circle the point to the third eye. And we're going to circle the crown chakra and then the soul star chakra to just balance and activate your own intuition. And then I was asked to change the swords and go in the opposite direction, because many times you want to balance those two energies together. Take a deep breath. I am getting a message, so I'm going to get out of the way a bit and see what happens. So it is good day to you, huh? What a setup we've got here, huh? Oh, very good to see each of you. Yes, namaste to each of you. And as you understand that when you work with the Selenite Swords of Light, they will follow your own guidance, and your intention is what is making the difference. And your intention, as our intention right now, is to go out to the hundreds or thousands of people that see this video and to activate them as they are rolling forward. And as they are rolling forward, it is a movement of energy. So take a deep breath. Know that there is no wrong way to use a Selenite Sword of Light. You can feel a difference in the energy. Anchor that focus with all of you. We have a council of beings that work with us. On the council is Sekhmet. Sekhmet is the goddess of destruction and the goddess of creation. And she wields the swords in many different ways. You may or may not wield them in that capacity. Our intention is to reach through this technology and through these lights and to help you find that element of flow in your world. Take a deep breath. We will remove anything that causes you anxiety. We will anchor into your energy. Anything that brings balance. We activate your intuition. We hold that energy. And as you hold that energy, we expand that energy out to the peoples of this planet. Trust yourself, dear. Trust your light. Trust your focus. Trust your vision. At this moment, what they say is be sure to stay in your home. Breathe. Breathe. And as you breathe, listen with your heart, not with your ears. Harisik nukhayati. Aik nukha nishunuknu. Aik nusma haki aiti nukhaiti chupa. Atitsuma. Atisuma. Atisuma. Remember the flow of who you are. Remember the vision of who you are creating. Remember the access that you have to all other people on this planet through love, through your heart, through compassion. When you anchor your energy every day at 11:11 a.m., as you hold focus, you breathe love, you breathe love, and you breathe love. So as you focus in that energy, that was your translation there, as you focus in that energy, know that you are creating the illusion and the illumination of this planet. And that is what our intention is for you. To expand amongst a virus that was not here a month ago.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
So Alexis is talking to us on the internet here. You hear voices? It is not ours. So as you understand, dearest beings of light, your connective point is your heart. And as you connect with your heart, you are expanding that energy out to bring in your guides. As you anchor with that figure 8, you are actually bringing in the archangels. You are bringing in the ascended masters of this planet. As you bring in Master Yeshua, as you bring in the Buddha, the Lord Buddha, as you bring in Kuan Yin, the Mother Mary, Mary the Magdalene, Isis, Osiris, Ra, Sekhmet, Babaji, Sai Baba, Saint Germain, Lakshmi, Tara, all the ascended masters of this planet through that energy of the figure 8 are coming. You see how we do this right at the heart. So they are acknowledging you in your heart energy. And you can do that with one. Same energy. You can do it with 2. And you can do it with your finger. When you need a little extra boost and you don't have your selenite swords with you. You are the light, always remember that. And as you do, your heart is connecting to all other hearts on this planet. And as it is connecting to all other hearts on this planet, you are the ones we have been waiting for. We love you deeply. We see you. We don't know if there's questions or whatever else is happening right now. So what we'll do is we will bow out and bid you namaste. 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 Namaste.
She's back. Well, thank you so much for joining us on Facebook. I don't know if there are any questions out there, but now's your time to ask. We do a mastery class once a year. That's it, only once a year. And this year it's going to be online. I wasn't supposed to mention anything about it because this is not supposed to be an ad. But if you are interested, check out our website at Adironnda.com, ADIRONNDA.com. And look for the information on the Selenite Sword Mastery class because it's coming up. It's the first weekend in May. And we are live streaming it, of course, because we're all supposed to be staying at home, right? So this year we will be live streaming it. It was completely sold out. But now, because we're live streaming it, you can join us if you'd like to. So check it out. I'm not sure if we actually have the live stream link up, but we do have a limited amount of people that can join us through our link. So go ahead and register online and you'll get the live stream information. We would love to see how you use the swords. This is how we use the swords. We have a great time. My sword, one sits by my desk in my office and the other one sits right by my bed. I use them all the time.
My swords are always in my bedroom. Unless I'm working on somebody in my office.
Yeah, and you know, our whole team uses them. And
so I would like to thank our team.
Yes, because without our team, it would just be me and Marilyn playing around with the swords in the living room.
And we can't be 6 feet apart. So, but our team, one's in Florida, one's in New York, and one's in Arizona. So we're more than 6 feet apart.
Yeah, so we meet all of the mandates and we're healthy and happy and having fun and so honored and glad that you could join us. And I'm just going to check my text here real quick to see, because we are on Zoom. We're recording this so we can put it out so that if you want to get activated again later on, you can just watch the recording.
You can just play it back and get the whole activation.
So let's see if we have any questions. Like I said, now's your time. You can ask any of us a question. Oh, I have to look at the right window.
Yeah. So keep in mind that any piece of selenite works However, in the handle of the Selenite Swords of Light, there's over 400 chakra balancing crystals. There's a vial of ayahuasca and a vial of holy water from about 40 different sacred water supplies. There's all the Ascended Masters artwork and symbols, and all the Lemurian Tones artwork and symbols. I just got a new shipment of swords from Tom, the Selenite sword maker, and they actually have more stuff in them. They have sand from different places in the world, like the pyramids in Egypt, and they've got more good stuff in the handle. So, and they've got, this one has a rose quartz octahedron. This has a specially created resin. That's a pyrite.
It's pyrite.
Sphere.
They also, I don't know if you can see close up. I mean, if I put the light behind it, some of the swords are actually etched with flower of life, laser etching on them. So I think both of mine have those, but everyone's unique. This one has a smoky quartz crystal in it. And like we said, they pick their owners. So Marilyn, there are a couple questions. How do we get a sword?
You can contact us with info@Adironnda, and we would intuit a selenite sword for you. We're going to have a Facebook Live sale. I'm not sure when it is. Maybe a week from Saturday morning on the 11th of April. We'll see about that. Or you can email info@Adironnda.com and say in the subject line, I want a sword or intuit a sword, and then they'll pass it on to me, and you and I will get together. We need your name and your birth date and your telephone number, and we'll get together and we'll intuit the sword just for you. I have a whole new shipment of some really cool swords.
So watch, you'll be doing that on Facebook Live as well?
We have to talk to our team as to when, but yeah.
Yeah, we have to get buy-in for our team. Hey team, can we do live on Facebook Live to sell swords later on? 2 thumbs up. Yeah, all right. Another question, Marilyn. How do I heal my ears?
So to work on a specific part of your body, it depends on exactly what's going on with your ear. But when I work with for a specific part of the body, sometimes I'm guided to just lay the sword like I'm doing right now. I don't know if you can see this. Lay the sword right against where the pain is, and ask the sword, because the selenite sword, it holds the energy and it follows your intention. And so I will hold the sword there and say, please rebalance and put my ear back into a place of balance before it was hurting, and then give it a date that it would go back into a place of balance as to when, maybe in January of 2020 or whenever you notice it wasn't hurting. Sometimes, I know this looks kind of scary, but sometimes I'm guided. You do not want to stick the sword in your ear. Do not put anything smaller than your elbow in your ear. Remember that from your mother. But I put it right at the entrance, because that gets the energy into the all the little tubes in there, and the hammer and the stirrup and all those little scrolly parts inside the ear. And I just ask it to go through wherever it needs to go to place the ear back into balance. If you have a pain somewhere else on your body, sometimes I get a lot of some discomfort across my shoulders. I just hold the sword on my shoulders and kind of move it around a little bit. And if I had a compressed vertebrae in 1981, so when I get tired, that's the first place my back hurts, and I can't really reach it with the swords. So I go from the front. I go in from the front and go into my spine from the front to release the muscles and the nerves that are being reactive from me being tired or something. So you want to put it where the pain is.
And it's really cool. I've never done that before, but I just noticed that when I did it, I could actually hear it. It had like a frequency in my ear that I could hear it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Somebody asked, the stone on the sword, true, on my sword, fell off. How does this change the effectiveness? As you can see, my sword is a pyrite, and pyrite's a very soft stone. And actually, when I chose it, it was already like that. So yeah, another little piece fell off. How does it change the effectiveness? It just gives it more character. It's more mine, you know, that the stone fell off doesn't really matter. Marilyn has damaged the tips. Hers used to be about that long. She kept breaking the tips. So
Tip of mine is broken right now. It doesn't affect it at all.
yeah, it just makes it yours.
I've actually, this sword used to be twice as long. I broke the end of it off. I've reshaped the point of it twice.
Yeah, this one's been well loved. You know, those are just like, that just makes it more of yours.
Even if you break the sword in half, it does not affect the energy of the sword. What I found, I actually glued mine together once, and I found that the energy of the sword would come up to the break and then it would fan out. So it just was a little different shape. So if you've lost your capstone, stick it back on.
Yeah. I mean, they're working with your intention, you know?
Right.
I mean, they do look like a piece of art. And when you have them like sitting on a shelf or, you know, on display, definitely people will ask you about them because they really are beautiful. Somebody else said it would be nice to get the selenite sword I ordered to join you in the class. Yes.
When did you order it and what's your name?
Her name is, well, I don't want to put it on the recording, but
okay, let me look.
yeah. So
Oh, okay. So I sent you an email and I did not ever hear back from you. So call me and we'll get you your sword
notify,
because I still have it.
on the Facebook page, just notify us through Messenger and we'll get back to you. And then one more question. No more questions out there? Okay, wow. Now's your chance. Can I use a piece of selenite until I purchase a sword?
You can. The difference is that it has a little different vibration. The selenite sword, of course, because of all the things in the handle, makes it more amplified in the power of it. But the selenite by itself is a stone of the future. And so it still follows your intention. Absolutely.
So if there are no more questions, Rhonda, I know you're out there. If there are no more questions, then we will bid you adieu on this beautiful evening.
And we give thanks to Rhonda for manning the back end. Here. Womaning the back end.
Yeah, she's womaning. She's our woman on the back end.
Yes, she is.
So one other thing that I would just like to add, you probably noticed that we all sort of we went into prayer position with our swords. It is a really nice way to, Can you tell we play around a lot? Yeah. It's a really nice way to cap off the energy, is just to, you know, feel the love that you have in your intention for the healing that you're providing, and also for the planet, and just like sink into the gratitude that you're able to do what you can do, and the gratitude for Tom Letter, the selenite sword maker, that he made these beautiful tools that we can all use, and the gratitude for yourself that you're able to provide healings for yourself and for others. Anybody else want to say anything?
Namaste, y'all.
Namaste, y'all. Namaste.
Namaste.